Sounded like it, where I don't see anything on the screen yet. So would it be okay if we just went around one by one and just said something to the group if you want to? I mean, totally up to you if you want to say something.
That'd be great.
Sure.
Maggie, and my screen, Maggie's in the upper left. Maggie, do you want to say something to the group?
I certainly do. But I won't start with the joke. I want to show you, I'm pretty proud of this. I'll put it up here. Can you see that? It's my book I just wrote.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
A fun book, and it's called The Lord and Laughter. And it was really a wonderful thing to put together. But I've enjoyed it, and I've been enjoying lots of friends and family. So life is good.
Good.
thank you, Maggie.
Maggie's got the best sense of humor ever. Sure. Liv, you're up next on my screen. Do you want to? You've come the furthest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only a couple blocks away from the high school. Steve?
Yeah, hello everyone. It's so nice to see you. And I can recognize all of you. Of course I can. And you look good. And myself, I'm fine. I'm in good health. And go for walks every day and eat my veggies. So I keep fit. And I would very much love to see you all next year if there is a reunion.
That would be great.
And I keep watching news from the US every day. Some of it good and some of it not so good.
True.
Very
Not so good, it's right.
keen on following your politics. And not too happy about that though. Yeah. Well, I suppose you're not either.
Or can I get more? Oh, does that go? Should I push that?
I'll leave it.
All right, Denny Mathis, do you want to say something to the group?
Sure, I can.
That's the same.
It's nice.
Oh, and that's the changes people.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Nice
Yes.
seeing you people. Is James Malloy? He's not here, is he?
No, he isn't.
I'll tell you a little story about him, if you don't mind. I wish he was here. When I came to, I lived in the country, a small farm. And I was starting high school. Remember back in high school, it was 7th through 12th grade. And a lot of people. So here I am, a little 12-year-old, scared to death. I didn't know anyone. And Jim Malloy comes up. All I had was can't even think of her name now. The teacher's name, not the room number. But anyway, he walked me there, and here I was all shook up, and I sat in my chair and I just relaxed and was happy, just like that. So that's good. But what I was going to say, I've been happy ever since for 6 years in school there with you gang, you guys. What a wonderful group we have. Everybody was friendly to me, and I appreciate that. But right now, I live in St. Cloud with my wife. We've been married, I don't know, 50 years plus. And, anyway, my son's in Austin, Texas, and my daughter is here in St. Cloud. My daughter has 2 boys, so we have 2 grandkids. So we're doing good.
I mean, in St. Cloud, I remember where you lived.
I had a little money in my 401k when I retired. I retired at 60. And now it's about all gone. I went on a lot of cruises, about a dozen, not dozen, cruises with some friends and traveled a lot. But you know what? I do the same thing again. Now that my 401k is just about gone, if I had a chance to do it over again, I'd do the same thing because we were really having a good retirement. Except that I fall down all the time. Doggone it. It's a combination of no toes and rheumatoid arthritis and diabetes and alcohol, which I quit, by the way, a year ago. So anyway, That's about it.
Benny, can I tell a story about you?
Sure.
You remember back when we were in confirmation class at St. Luke's?
Yes.
And one time you came and you had an excuse for not having your lesson ready because your confirmation book fell into the feed grinder at the mill.
I remember that.
Boy, that's a good one.
Yep, it wasn't the dog, it was the feed grinder.
I was trying to remember that one in high school when I showed up with no book, you know. We lived in town then, so. Yeah.
So
Anyway,
when Marv Bodke's all the way, you're in Texas, I assume, right?
I'm in Texas, that's right. And I'm getting fed up with the COVID-19. That's all we hear on the news here, and it has put a little damper on our travels, but nevertheless, we just take each day as it comes and adjust to it and deal with it, because there isn't much else we can do. I sure appreciate you setting this up for today for us to get together, because we have the greatest class of Faribault High School, 1961. It just seems like everybody in our class has contributed so much to the world since graduation. We've been a kind of a special class. And we've got just every time we get together, it's just a great event. And yes, I think having something in 2021 for 60 years be real nice again. And we're at the point now we can keep it simple and have a great time. So I don't have a whole lot more to say. It's good to see all the smiling, happy faces today.
And you can thank Lynn Mickelson for the fact that we're doing this.
To do something.
Because,
To move.
that after what? Lynn, was after our 40th or 45th
I
reunion?
forget them. I don't do anything.
Yeah, something like that.
So then we said, well, why don't we do some lunches? And that's been really fun. Well, Patty Gibbs, you're up next if you want to say something.
Just listening is fine with me.
Look, just the same.
Good. Listening.
I understand that.
So Lynn, you're next.
This is nice. I was glad to do this Zoom because I had not done it before. And I've got family that's scattered, so this will be pretty good. We used to Skype, you know, and with texting and Facebook, we don't do a lot of that anymore. But the Zoom, I can see, has different qualities. That's good. I'm surprised Mary Ann Thompson isn't here either.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I've got my list here, and I don't think she said she was going to even attempt.
Oh, she was going to, but maybe not.
Well, actually, this number is a little bit easier to deal with, and you know, if you add another 5 or 6, it starts getting really difficult.
Yeah.
And what do you want to add? It looks like you've been to the hairstylist lately. I get to go on Monday.
That was so fun. I went and I suppose everybody remembers Coach Schrader. I cut his hair. And it was not good. Mostly it wasn't short enough. I just couldn't do it. So we both had an appointment, not at the same place, but the same week, last week. It was so good to get that done. It's quite an experience. This whole COVID-19 thing is.
It is.
If anybody can see some of Dr. Beckman's posts, the internal medicine physician here in Faribault, he has really kept up to. Well, I think Lynn, your hubby, is he a friend of Beckman's too? I thought I saw his name anyway on some of the comments, and he's been such a stabilizing force as far as helping us keep away from the speculations, and then he can straighten us out because he's such a scholar, and so he's been comforting with all this. And Jerry and I are pretty healthy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lynn, if you're ready.
Oh, I'm next. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was excited. I finally had my other cataract surgery last Thursday.
Ooh, yes.
Yes, so the first one was March 19th, just before the shutdown. And this was the fourth appointment. They kept canceling because of different things that were happening. I finally got it done, so now I have both eyes working together.
Is that what you had?
Oh. Oh, and that period in between is just terrible.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can't wear your glasses and you
No.
can't go without them.
So you go around like this,
Yes,
winking at everyone.
exactly.
Being fresh with
Except that I
everybody.
did find out that if I covered my right eye with my new one, I found out I was a platinum silver. But if I looked with my old eye, I was still a blonde.
Oh,
So
Oh,
for 5 weeks, I could just be old or young.
sounds good.
Yep. Okay. And it's great to see everybody. It really is.
it really is. Butch, you're up next.
Oh, well, I wanted, unlike Denny, I still haven't given up the refreshment yet. I'm having a Tanqueray martini
There you go.
with 3
Good.
olives, but the olives are strictly for the vitamins. So,
Yeah.
and I wanted to also echo something that Marv said about how wonderful this class is. I tell some friends around here in the Twin Cities area, the kind of when we have our lunches, how many people show up. They can't believe it because some of them graduated with classes over 1,000. And if they can get 2 or 3 together at one time, they're amazed that they have that many. So this class has always been very close knit, and it's wonderful to see you all. You all look great. And I will pass the baton to whoever's next.
Ann, Kiefer.
Oh, okay. It's good to see you all. I was glad I got to the last reunion in whenever it was. And I look forward to next year. I'd be interested to know what you all are doing during this kind of shutdown. I started with this whole list of projects and it was going to keep me going, right? Well, I did them all. It's been 3 weeks now. I did them all 3 weeks ago. So I'm looking for something to do.
Are you
Anybody
artistic?
want to take that one?
You could start painting.
Oh,
I'm on all of it.
are you talking about pictures or walls, Lynn?
Pictures.
Pictures, okay.
Right.
Maybe.
One thing I've been doing is my parents exchanged a lot of letters during World War II.
Oh, that's fun.
They were in an envelope that my sister had, and she had scanned them at one point. She says, "Here, why don't you take them?" So I did. And on the outside of the envelope, my mother had written, "Read these before you throw them away." No,
That's cute.
I have been. And it's kind of interesting what you find out about your parents, stuff you don't even necessarily want to know, but it's been really fun. And then my dad had a packet of what they call V-mail letters. They would, you were given a certain size sheet of paper and you could write on that. And then they literally took a picture of it, which miniaturized it. They could send it overseas, and then over there it would be developed and turned it not into full size, but maybe about a third the size. It was readable. So those have been sitting together and I'd never ever looked at them. So now I've been taking those apart and scanning them, and there's letters from my Uncle Dan and there's letters from other people that I'm going like, you ever get to that point, sir? I wished I would have talked to my parents more about life before I was born. It's like, I can't capture that. So that's one of the projects I've been doing. It's kind of fun. But anyway, Becky, you're up. You're next up on my screen.
It's good to see everybody after so many years. I guess I was fairly new to the class when I came as a junior, and so I don't have a long history with Faribault that you all do. But it is good to see you again. And I appreciate the friendship that many of you showed me during those years. It made a big difference. I'm sitting in my senior retirement apartment. My husband Glenn and I, who've been married for 54 years, recently sold our family home in Portland and moved to a senior retirement community, primarily for health reasons, but for other reasons. Just couldn't take care of a big house and couldn't manage the maintenance and so on. I don't know if any of you have reached that point, but we sure did. So we're finally unpacked, and now we're challenged to find where we put things. Where is that box? In fact, I promised Jim some information from my father's coaching files before I went through all the boxes and realized that I couldn't find them anymore. So anyway, that's been a challenge for us. We have, since Glenn and I were married in Richfield, Minnesota, in 1966, we've moved 14 times.
Over there, and then it takes you back.
And so we've set up 14 households across the country, from Minnesota to South Dakota to Nebraska to Ohio to Washington, and finally Portland in 1980. And we've lived here for 30 years now, and it's really our home. We have 3 children, a daughter and twin sons, one of whom is the spitting image of my father. And we have 4 grandchildren, all now teenagers. So we're living vicariously through our children's angst about having teenage children. We landed in Portland and have found a good life for us here. If you've ever been to the Northwest, you know what a beautiful place it is. We have the ocean and the mountains, and it's really, it's unspeakably beautiful. And so we've really enjoyed our time here. We have very few reasons to come back to Minnesota anymore. My parents are both gone. My brother is gone. And the rest of the family is dispersed across the country. So as close as I get to Minneapolis, Faribault is northern Wisconsin, where my brother Steve is. Many of you won't remember him because he was probably about 4 at the time that we lived in Faribault. Anyway, it's good to see you all and to feel part of the group. I've seen some of you in the interim time, and I should point out that Glenn and I were in Norway a few years ago and saw Livelsa in Stavanger. In fact, it was about this time during that year, 2016, I believe. And it was really wonderful to see her. She hadn't changed, and was still her vibrant, beautiful self. And she spent the day with us, taking us around Stavanger and telling us about the local culture and the education system. And she said to me at the time that her year in Faribault made the biggest difference in her life. So you all have that to think about.
Yeah.
That's all to your credit. Anyway, hi, Anne.
Hi.
Editors on the yearbook staff, yeah. Anyway, I'll close. Nice to see you.
And
you.
some of you know this. I'll just throw this in right now. Of course, her dad was the principal that was my principal at that I worked for at Olson Junior High for 13 years, and in the minds of everybody that had Ed Beyer as their leader, he's legendary. And when those 13 years came to the end, I just thought, well, who's up next? It'll be just another Ed Beyer, right? No, there was never another Ed Beyer. And then I've got some sad news to report. Jack Dreyer is very ill right now.
Oh, no.
He just turned, I think he's just turning 89, and he's mentally kind of lost it, and he's down to 114 pounds, and he's
Oh, my.
not eating or drinking. So I'm not expecting a good outcome out of that. But he came to our 50th, and when he walked in, half the people said, "No, I don't remember him from our class. He was 83 at the time." People thought he was
You look great.
Yeah. So,
I
I
feed.
remember him.
I remember you, but not from our class.
yeah. Marion Ball, you are up next if you'd like to say something.
Well, I wondered if the other woman lives in Portland, that's in the Northwest. Is that Patricia?
Marion Ball.
Oh, the other Marion.
The other Marion.
Two of us.
So
I just
on
wanted
my
to say
screen, Susan Pajari is next, and then Marion West is next, and then Koger and Switzenberg will skip, and then, no, I'm just kidding. And then it's Sue, and then Pete Deem is with us too. So he just disappeared or got added. Oh, Dan Bertrand, there he is.
Yep. He's connected.
Oh, Marion, go ahead.
Which one?
me, I think.
He's talking to me? Okay.
So if everybody else, one thing you can do that helps, if you can find where your microphone is, and then that helps background noise disappear. So Marion, go ahead.
I think when you were giving those directions, I think you muted yourself.
Yeah, could be.
No,
Well, Ferrero is not my name, but it is my partner's name. And we've been together for 20 some years. And he's right now pressure washing my house. So that's a much better job than talking on the computer. And, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. Well, that's true. I could talk about them. My kids live in other states besides Oregon. They have one in Montana and one in Nevada. And so I don't see them too much, maybe twice a year or something like that. And it's been quite a long time since I've met with any of the people from my class. It was a little 50th or something like that I attended. And I recognized everybody, and now I don't. Because we've all changed so much. So that's kind of where it's at. Anyway, I'm here with the help of my partner and also my friend here who does computers, and I don't. So thank you, Barb. And I'm the Zoomer. She's a Zoomer. I said I wanted to learn Zoom. I didn't know what I was getting into, but thank you very much for doing it for me. And also to Jim, because he had suffered with us. That. So we're living with Jean, which is pretty famous sports thing. The ducks. Yeah. Yeah, and I have 100 feet of riverfront in my backyard. And we watch the baby ducks and things like that. And anyway, if you're out in Pacific Northwest, look me up. Got an extra spare bedroom, nobody's in it, so and make use of what you have there. Okay, I'll hand you back to whoever's next.
All right, Marion Ball.
okay. What have I been doing? Okay. I've actually been enjoying COVID quarantine. I really have. I've gotten so much done. I got those closets cleaned that haven't been cleaned in years, and got rid of junk, and you know, just all that miscellanea. And when I didn't have a project, I just enjoyed reading. I really miss my friends. I see Patty a lot, and Mary Lee and Mary Ann, and who am I missing? Jeannie Winkleman. But we haven't seen him for a while. And I miss going to the gym. My body misses going to the gym. I hate the gym, but I go because because then I can have coffee with my other friends afterwards. And I'm not looking forward to getting back on the rat race that I was in before, you know. I really have enjoyed just having, you know, a whole day for a project. I didn't have to squeeze it in between things. Let's see, I miss my kids. My son's in Miami and my daughter is in Munich, Germany. Her daughter went there to get her master's and decided to stay. And so Penny went over to stay for a year, but with all the things that have happened and her being quarantined over there also, she hasn't been able to do a lot. So she's going to stay longer, which is fine, except that I have everything that she owns pushed into my house. Let me tell you, that was a neat trick. 2 houses into one.
Wow.
But I missed going to my grandson's graduation because his school was in Connecticut, but he had gone to Miami for spring break and he's still there. And of course, they didn't have anything at his school.
Is there anything you have to be at? Okay. The last 3.
What else I want to tell you? I think that's about it. Good to see everybody. Thanks, Jim.
Good to see everybody.
Yeah. Susan Pajari, Breezy.
Hi.
You'll have to unmute yourself.
I was very kindly muted myself. I have to unmute myself so you can hear me. My biggest news, and some of you probably know this, but some of you don't know, that my husband passed away. And I've sent out this really sweet card to people that are on my Christmas list with pictures, you know, kind of a history of him, because I couldn't do Christmas cards at Christmas time. So I sent this out after New Year's. And I felt really good about doing it because I thought it was like a celebration of his life. And I am planning to make a trip to Minnesota. I mean, kind of scary during COVID, but I'm going to get on a plane and I'm going to stay with one of my brothers and drive to northern Minnesota and bring Roger's ashes to their final resting place at the Alango Cemetery. And unless they say I can't fly, that's what I'm planning to do. In terms of what I've been doing during the quarantine, I've learned all these songs on the piano that I played in high school. I mean, you know, Liebestrom, Rustle of Spring, Autumn Leaves. I mean, I really have enjoyed that. It's just kept me going. I probably spend 2 hours playing the piano every day. And then I go on all these walks. I had to move after my husband died because the house was way too big for me. So I'm in about a 2,000 square foot house in a really nice neighborhood. So I go on walks every day. And that's been great. And I'm very tan. That's my daughter calling. I'll talk to her later. I'll explain after I finish this. But anyway, so that's basically it. It was very difficult. I mean, after my husband died, I sold the house I was in, bought a new house. I was moved into this house in 3 months, and it was very devastating, just kind of overwhelming. But, you know, bit by bit, I'm doing okay. I think that life goes on, and so hopefully, and I'm coming to Faribault just briefly to meet with Carol and Fritz and Nancy Overcott. We're going to get together and we're going to socially distance and be spread out and everything, but we are planning to do that. So anyway, I'm so delighted to see all of you because I've missed all the happy hours and everything. I live too far away, so it was fun to be able to be part of this today, and so great to see everyone. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the 2 Toms, Mr. Koger and Mr. Switzenberg.
You want to go first?
You go ahead. I'm bashful.
He always has been bashful. Yeah, while we were listening to everybody's conversations here, Tom and I were trying to remember all the classmates that we dated. And I remember 3 or 4 of the lovely girls, and Tom remembers 2 of the lovely girls and 2 of the lovely guys that he dated.
Uh-oh.
I won't tell him, Roy.
Yeah, Roy. But anyway, it's nice to be sitting next door to my fellow Marine here, Semper Fi. And
Hoorah.
oh yeah, hoorah. And I've been sober now for about 4 months.
Wonderful.
And
Great news.
and it's a good thing that I did become sober because I was not remembering a lot of stuff. But now that I've stopped drinking, my memory's starting to come back. After I had about 5 head concussions, the doctor told me, he said, that's because you have a memory issue because of the head concussions and also because you're an old fart. And I kind of like that, doctor, really I do. But we Zoom on, because we can't go to our meetings every day over at the Alcoholics Anonymous. So now we Zoom, and we probably have 12 or 13 people that every morning at 10 o'clock get on and Zoom. We just can't get together because of this virus. And I'm real well now that the virus is over. I had it 4 times, right, Tom?
Only 4?
Yeah, I thought it was 4. Wasn't it 4? No, I guess not.
And is it over?
Yeah. And it's really nice seeing all you guys again. And there's one that's missing, Kingfish. You know, we forgot to tell him we were going to do this. But he wouldn't have been good anyway because he can't even turn on his computer. So anyway, it's great seeing y'all. And Jimmy, thanks for setting this up. And I know in a few months we'll all be able to get together, and then we can do our hugging again. And,
Virtual hugs.
Marv, I know you miss us hugging. But anyway, I'm going to pass on to the guy I don't like very much. And here's Cotton.
Yeah. No, haven't been doing much during the pandemic. Pretty much like everybody else, just around the house and doing what chores you can do and putting off everything you can't. But kind of wondering what's going on down in Faribault with all the tilt-a-whirl decorations I see you've got sitting around now. If anybody knows anything about that.
Well, come down and see them. One's in front of the State Bank and one's in front of Burkittsmeyer Shoes.
Really?
Mm.
You want to, a lot of people may not know what you're talking about. You want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I caught it on the news the other day. They did a clip on Faribault about, and they were highlighting these 2 ladies. They called them the tilt-a-whirl girls or ladies or whoever they were. Evidently, you know, tilt-a-whirl being a famous ride that was developed by Herb Seller in Faribault and built and marketed there for years. And they had evidently been gathering some of the old cars off of the tilt-a-whirls and refurbishing them into like, look like benches at bus stops or something like that. Really a neat idea. Really well done.
The first one, Tom, they took out to, was it in Nevada somewhere? There's a TV show, Restoration something or other. One of those kinds of, you know, TV shows. And they completely restored it as it was. And then it came back here. And those 2 people that are on the TV show were here for the unveiling the day that they let everybody see it and installed it. That was the one in front of Burkittsmeyer's. I can remember the name, Restoration, American Restoration or something like that. One of those shows that are up in the higher numbers on your TV.
It's very tastefully done and looking forward to getting down there to see it.
Yeah, they are nice.
You going to take me with you?
No.
Oh, damn.
Right. Before. No. Yeah, maybe we'll spin on down there and take a look at it.
but
Well, you need to go inside the state bank too, because they have quite a, it's museum quality display of the Flex Brewery memorabilia. Really very, very nice.
yeah, and the only other thing that I've been involved with, well, not really involved. I'm sure you heard of the riots and all of this issue, George Floyd thing. Turns out the police officer that had a young fella's neck lives 2 blocks from me. So we had a lot of company in the neighborhood for a few nights, but it was really a very sad affair.
Yeah.
From here or from over there, either way.
That's about it.
Are you going to say goodbye now, Cotton, and tell everybody it was nice seeing them? And, you know, they like you too. You probably don't believe it, but they do like you.
We love you.
Takes a lot for granted, doesn't it? No, it's great seeing you guys again, as usual.
Okay.
Bird, can I tell a story about you?
Uh-oh.
What?
Sure, go ahead.
Back at McKinley School, one Halloween, we all made masks, and the teacher drew an outline on the bulletin board and showed us on the back where we should write your name so that we could tell them apart. And so everybody wrote their name except for Tom Schwitzenberg. Well, Schwitzenberg's an awfully long word, you know. He wrote your name.
He was following the instructions exactly as they were given.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jim.
So
I still have that mask.
Do you really? You could use it for COVID.
Susan Jokes, you're next.
Okay. We've been spending most of the time in the house. I think some of you know that I got married 5 years ago, and my husband is high risk. And so we have to be really, really, really careful. And I think
back because you're in it.
And he's getting, I think he's really beginning to get a little bored and stir crazy. Now, though we all have. But we play dominoes every day, every afternoon. That has kind of kept our sanity. I go out when I have to. I mean, I do the grocery shopping and and I've been going to the doctor because I found out 2 days ago that I need to have arthroscopic surgery on my left knee.
Ooh.
So, and that is scheduled for June 29th. So that's gonna curtail us even a little bit more for a few days anyway. And that's about it. My husband's family has family around here. Well, in the immediate area. We live in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin area. And, but we haven't even been able to see them. And my family lives in Evanston, Illinois, and I haven't been able to see them. And my son works in actually Green Bay, Wisconsin, and commuted from Evanston every week. And he has been home since about March 13th or 10th. So using Zoom because he's an executive. But I haven't been able to see, we haven't been able to see any of our family at all. So that's kind of us. So it's just the two of us kind of looking at each other and playing dominoes for pennies, and okay, you owe me 13 cents and you owe me $3.02 and
I thought you were playing strip dominoes.
that would not be really fun. The way that our bodies are at 77 years old plus, okay? So anyway, that's, we've had lots and lots and lots and lots of rain, and we finally got a stretch of good weather. So hopefully we can get out, at least get out on the deck and maybe get together with people and keep social distancing and stay, you know, stay outside and stay on the deck. That's what we're looking for. So that's about it.
All right.
Thank
Mr. Dean, you need to unmute yourself and give us an update on how you're doing. Yep.
I guess I should mute myself.
Did we unmute there, Jim?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. It's been an awfully long time since I've seen many of you. This is really a great idea, Jim. Thanks very much for doing it. And it makes it pretty easy, especially at these times when you can't move around and all that sort of stuff. Is Koger still on the wire?
Yes. Yes, he's right
Yeah,
here.
I'm here, Pete.
I'm a little bit upset, Coach, because I used to call you Sweet Cheeks and you said we never dated.
But you ain't such a cold nose, Pete.
That goes back to the old football days. When Tom was the center and I was the quarterback, and I always called him Sweet Cheeks. So inside joke. Sorry, bad one. But
You
many-
mean you
many
actually
years
had
ago-
your hands under his legs?
Once or thrice, yes. Every now and then.
We became very close.
Oh, I noticed that. Yeah.
Absolutely. You were a little bit out to the side, Jim or Tom. So so you didn't really get into the whole thing. But no, it's been interesting life for these 76 years, to say the least. A lot of moving around with jobs, that sort of thing. For Tom and Tom, I was in that other branch of the service called the Air Force for a while.
Oh.
And but anyway, I got overseas with that and everything else. But it's been really interesting. We're living in Denver now and have been here for 25 years. Hard to believe. And I guess my parents passed away a few years back, so there's the connection with Faribault. My wife Deb grew up in Albert Lee. Her parents are gone, so we haven't really gone there. My two brothers, Dave is in Buffalo, Minnesota, and Bob is up in Sauk Center. And haven't seen them for a while. I really wasn't able to travel last year, and of course this year haven't been able to travel anywhere either. So it's been a very interesting time. You were remarking about the Tilt-A-Whirl, and I'm on Facebook with you knew you grew up in Faribault if.
Right.
Honest to God, I never remembered 3/4 of the things that they've said, but a lot of them were back in the late 1800s. So I figured, okay, that's pretty good. But I have seen the Tilt-A-Whirls, and where's the green and white one, Marion, outside Burkersmeyer's?
The green and
State
white was
Bank.
outside the State Bank.
State Bank, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, but it was neat to see them restored
Mm-hmm.
and all of
Yeah, I
that.
really like the one in front of Burkhart's Myers.
That's more original.
Was that the
Very,
first one?
yeah.
Because I remember seeing some things about it, and I think the one outside Burkhart's-Myers was the first one they put back.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but it certainly in all of those, you grew up in Faribault if, certainly has changed in a lot of respects. Haven't been back there for a while, so haven't gone up and down. I never did go up and down Main Street on Friday night. Never had a car, so you know, they had to walk. But anyway, I'm sorry I haven't been able to get back to the luncheons because they always look good. The red sweater one looks like a lot of fun. And
It
maybe
is.
these days can travel up there at the right time when you all are having that and say hi and get those hugs in person. So miss you. This is a great idea. I hope we can do it again. And hope everybody takes care.
And is it okay to ask how you're doing in your recovery from all the health issues you've had? I know you're back out in the golf course.
I am. It's I'm on the right side of the grass, as they say. That's a heck of a good thing, and it's been very interesting for this last year in terms of not being able to travel. And I see Marv, and you had some serious problems as well. I remember seeing on Facebook, and hope you're doing very well. But it is what it is, and again, it's nice to be here and see you all. And again,
And Pete, before we leave you, I have something to show you. So I'm going to hold it up in front of me, okay? And see if you remember it. Can you see this?
Oh,
I don't know if you can see it or not, right?
he was sitting next to Patty,
No.
the coach.
Yeah.
Which picture
I
are
go on the main screen, Jim?
yeah. Which picture do you want us to see?
I want you to see the lower right-hand one with Pete in it.
Hold it up a little bit higher. A little bit higher, and then come
He
in.
was our coach.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. Now,
Can you see it?
yeah, tilted towards the screen.
Huh?
oh,
Charlie, Jerry.
I got to see you every morning, month of May when I got out of bed.
oh my goodness.
And now this month, I just have cheerleaders from our class.
A number of years ago, when I did see a few of you and with Jim took me down to the school to see the wall mural, which was really, really neat.
Yeah, and here are the cheerleaders from our class. Can you see them, Jim?
Yep.
Oh, my.
Yes.
I get to look at all you gals in this month. You're all looking good, and it's great to be with everyone.
And Maggie, you are a champ.
You are.
Yeah.
You are a champ.
Well, I'm a very blessed champ that came into school and felt very welcomed by all of you people. And I felt like I'd been with you since kindergarten because you made me feel so much at home.
Maggie, this is Switz.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that I still got the hots for you.
Well, are you ever going to do anything about it?
Good comeback, Maggie.
And I got a joke from you. I have a whole page of coronavirus jokes in my book. And the one says, the police want you to know that running from them is not social distancing. That's in my book. I put a lot of different jokes in it. I thought Lord and laughter. And with both of them, you'll be on the winning side.
Where can we get the book, Maggie?
Well, I'm going through Instaprints in Owatonna that I think I can just sell them for my house. I mean, if you're interested, it should be under $20.
Okay.
And if I know you're interested, send me a text or whatever. And I'm sending in for 30 right now, and I think they're all sold. So my friend Patty, she's in there too. And she's working on 10 and I'm working on 20. But no, just send me an email or text me or whatever, and we'll get you on the list.
Okay.
It's just a fun book because we talk about, we've all had our journeys and we've all had our bumps. But with positive attitude and faith in the Lord and good friends like all of you, we're going to be just fine.
Got it.
Amen.
Yes, indeed.
Jim?
Yes.
We need to talk to
Dan.
Dan.
Patty Gibbs is standing here, and there's this fellow that's looking over his shoulder, and we'd like to look at him because it looks like he might have been God. It is him.
Lean in and let him see you.
The coach.
Hey, coach.
No.
Hi, Coach.
You're looking over my shoulder. And they were,
Nice haircut, by the way.
Yeah.
I told him I cut your hair and it didn't come out so good. So I was glad you got the real hair.
Tracy doesn't look any different.
I've got to throw this in
You
right
don't
now.
look any different.
Well, I don't want to interrupt, but Jerry had to be, would be the best way to describe it, the golf coach when we were like juniors. So Pete and I and Buck Roach had to teach the golf coach how to play golf. That
Right.
was one of our jobs. But he had the coolest car to take us to the golf meets. It was a 1958 Chevrolet Impala convertible. I mean,
Oh, neat.
You had a 1958 Impala convertible.
Not a convertible.
Wow.
it wasn't a convertible? Oh, okay. Wow.
Well,
Let's
they're
tell
reminiscing
one
about
more
your-
person that hasn't had a chance, and that's
But
all.
don't forget the golf game.
Okay.
So Dan Bertram, you're muted right now. Can you unmute your mic and join the conversation? Uh-oh. It looks like the screen's locked up.
You can unmute her as a host.
Yeah, I'm trying to unmute him, but it doesn't really do it. Dan, can you hear me? Nothing works exactly perfect, does it? Unmute.
It's a computer. What?
I think he might be. Oh, there's Jackie.
There we go.
There we go.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi. We're sitting in front of the Verizon store because we didn't know how to do this. So Dan is, he decided to come out of the store because it was too noisy, and he got into the truck and he had turned it off somehow. So I had to go back in the store and hook it back up. So are you guys still there?
We're still here.
Okay, here's Dan. I'm going to hand him the phone. Okay, I got him on there.
There he is.
How you doing?
Great.
Good.
Got lots of problems with this phone system or Zoom system, I guess. But kind of like the Cobra thing. Been enjoying listening to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
So how are you doing, Dan?
Great. Being penned up's been a little bit serious.
You look good.
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, we went through the last couple of years a few things.
Yeah.
We just got back up to Wyoming from Texas, so it was 93 to 100 down there, and we came up to the mountains, and it actually snowed at 7,000 feet the other night, so about 1,000 foot higher than what we are. But we were wearing long sleeved shirts and vests and stuff for a couple days.
Ooh.
But that felt good.
They look great.
Sure glad you put something together, Jim, because great to have another way of communicating with everybody. So thank you.
Well, it's good to see everybody. Butch wants to give everybody a message here before we sign off. Marion West, for a second, your microphone is muted. Is it possible to unmute it if you had something to say?
I'm up here. I'd just like to ask everybody if you have anything you want to share with this group.
I'm unmuted. Okay, you're unmuted now.
Yep.
Anything you want to share with this group regarding this get together or anything else, send me an email. You can get my address as the webmaster of our class website at the webmaster at fshs61.org. If you send me any pictures or any comments or anything you want, Maggie, I'm going to make a mention on the website about your book and have people put a link there that people can get to you if they want a copy of it. And anything else, you can go there and see pictures of all of our past get-togethers. And you know, I really enjoy keeping track of that website because it helps me keep in contact with all of you. So go to the website and have a good time.
Thank you.
And you do a wonderful job.
I want to say one more thing before we sign off. I forgot to tell you all that I live in Georgia. I live pretty close to Atlanta, Georgia, in a city called Snellville.
Okay. Deep South.
Jim.
Maybe if you send me information, I can just send an email to the.
Tom is trying to hit me with it.
Jim,
No, he stood up to go to the bathroom.
Well, here's to everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. I just want to say one more thing to
Lynn, I think the pressure is on to organize something for next summer.
Thank you. Can I say something to Switzenberg?
We're going to have to patch.
Tom,
Yeah.
congratulations. You know,
Congratulations.
from a great long line of drinkers.
Faribault.
I've been working on my family history, found out how we're connected to the Switzenbergs.
You gotta be kidding.
What was
Jim,
that?
Jim, I'd like to say something. I think
Yeah. Yeah, Susan, go ahead.
I think this was a terrific idea, and it's great to see everyone because I live too far away to come to the lunches. So, but you know, if we could do this again, this would be a great idea.
No,
Yes.
probably going to be in here for a while.
Jim, while you're doing this, are you getting the pictures of people on this video?
Well, whatever was on my screen has been recorded. So
Okay.
I'll go through it and I can.
Make sure you say goodbye to him.
You give me permission right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Permission.
I'll post it on YouTube in somewhat edited form. So if that's okay with everybody.
Jim, can I say something?
Very much.
Yes, go ahead.
Something for a second, please. Jim, thanks a lot. Marv, are you still playing music, I hope?
Pardon?
Are you still playing music?
I just bought a new keyboard last week. I'm trying to say no, but it isn't working.
But I wanted to just, I like seeing all you guys, and if I make the 60th, I want to see you one-on-one and get more information. And Lev, thank you for being here. I don't know if I told her or not, all the cruises I took the best one was the Baltic Sea, and I loved Norway and Sweden and that type thing. It was just great. So everybody else, thanks for talking.
Does anybody else have a final thing they'd like
Yes.
to say?
I would like to say thank you so much, Jim, for organizing this. It was so good to be Zoomed by you.
Thank you.
And you, Butch, thank you so much for keeping the website and everything. Love all of you.
Yes, it's
Love you too.
So good to see you.
Good to see you too, Liz.
signing
Thank you
off
for
to
doing this. It was great.
Signing off.
Signing off.
Thought we were gonna maybe
enjoy
have.
your evening, and we'll have another one of these down the road, not too far away.
Good, good. Thank you.
Goodbye, all.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, bye.
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 Hey, cheers.